Feeling more tired, achy, or just off lately, even when nothing's obviously wrong? After 30, your body can start dealing with something called chronic inflammation. And the scary part is, you might not even notice it. It quietly chips away at your energy, your joints, even your long-term health. So what exactly is happening inside your body, and why does it matter more than you think? Let's break it down. Chronic, low-grade inflammation silently damages your cells and accelerates aging after 30. The tricky part is that you usually cannot feel it happening, because it is not the kind of inflammation that causes obvious pain or swelling. Instead, it is a constant, low-level immune response that slowly chips away at your cells, tissues, and DNA. Over time, this ongoing stress increases oxidative damage, shortens telomeres, and disrupts how your cells repair themselves, all of which are closely linked to faster biological aging. You might still look and feel fine on the surface, but underneath, your body is aging faster than it should. Think about habits like poor sleep, high sugar intake, chronic stress, or a sedentary lifestyle. These all keep your body in a slightly inflamed state every single day. A practical way to counter this is by focusing on daily anti-inflammatory habits, like eating whole foods rich in antioxidants, getting regular movement even if it is just walking, and prioritizing sleep, like it is non-negotiable. Small, consistent changes matter more than occasional big efforts. The earlier you start paying attention to inflammation, the more you protect your future self from accelerated aging. Persistent inflammation increases your risk of chronic diseases like heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. This is one of the biggest reasons inflammation is often called a silent killer. It lays the groundwork for disease years before any diagnosis happens. For example, inflamed blood vessels are more prone to plaque buildup, which can eventually lead to heart attacks or strokes. In the case of diabetes, inflammation interferes with how your body responds to insulin, slowly pushing you toward insulin resistance. Even cancer has been linked to chronic inflammation because it creates an environment where damaged cells are more likely to grow and spread. What makes this especially concerning after 30 is that risk factors start compounding. Maybe your metabolism slows a bit, stress increases, or activity levels drop. These shifts can quietly amplify inflammation if you are not paying attention. You can reduce your risk by being proactive with simple choices, like limiting ultra-processed foods, managing stress through things like breathing exercises or time outdoors, and keeping up with routine health screenings. Prevention is not about perfection. It is about consistently lowering the burden on your body over time. Inflammation disrupts your metabolism and makes it harder to maintain a healthy weight. If you have ever felt like it suddenly became easier to gain weight after 30 and harder to lose it, inflammation could be part of the reason. Chronic inflammation affects hormones that regulate hunger, fat storage, and energy use. It can increase insulin resistance, making your body more likely to store fat, especially around the abdomen. At the same time, it can interfere with signals like leptin, which tells you when you are full, leading to overeating without realizing it. This creates a frustrating cycle where weight gain fuels more inflammation, and more inflammation makes weight management even harder. Breaking that cycle does not require extreme dieting. In fact, overly restrictive diets can sometimes increase stress and inflammation. Instead, focus on balanced meals with protein, fiber, and healthy fats, and try to keep your blood sugar stable throughout the day. Regular movement, especially strength training and walking, can also improve how your body handles glucose and reduce inflammation. The goal is to support your metabolism, not fight against it. Chronic inflammation negatively affects brain health, increasing the risk of cognitive decline and mood disorders. The brain is highly sensitive to inflammatory signals, and when inflammation becomes persistent, it can alter how brain cells communicate and function. Over time, this has been linked to conditions like depression, anxiety, and even neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's. You might notice subtle signs first, like brain fog, low motivation, or difficulty concentrating. These are easy to dismiss as just being busy or stressed, but they can be early indicators that your brain is under inflammatory stress. Lifestyle plays a major role here. Poor sleep, chronic stress, and a lack of physical activity all contribute to higher inflammation levels that affect the brain. On the other hand, consistent sleep, regular exercise, and even simple practices like spending time in nature or maintaining social connections can help reduce inflammation and support mental clarity. Taking care of your brain is not just about mental exercises or productivity hacks. It is about reducing the underlying inflammation that interferes with how your brain works. Unmanaged inflammation weakens your immune system, making you more vulnerable to infections and slower recovery. It might sound counterintuitive, because inflammation is part of your immune response, but when it becomes chronic, it actually throws your immune system out of balance. Instead of responding efficiently to real threats, your immune system stays partially activated all the time, which can make it less effective when you actually need it. This can show up as getting sick more often, taking longer to recover, or feeling run down even without a clear illness. After 30, your immune system naturally changes, and chronic inflammation adds extra strain to that process. Supporting your immune health means reducing unnecessary inflammation. That includes getting enough sleep, managing stress levels, staying physically active, and eating nutrient-dense foods that support immune function. Even hydration plays a role in keeping your system functioning properly. Think of it as freeing up your immune system to do its job when it really matters, rather than keeping it stuck in a constant low-grade battle that drains your energy and resilience.